Good evening. Hi, my name is Brielle Moriah Perlman. I am starting a video blog. I've never been on YouTube before, and I thought it was about time to make some videos and tell people a little bit about myself, and also for the purpose of promoting my tarot reading, because I have a business called Twisted Hands Tarot. And I thought if anyone was interested in using the services of my said business, I should tell them a little bit about myself. For starters, not a traditionally gendered person. Some people would call me transgendered or gender neutral. I simply do what I feel like and what I like to make myself happy with my life. The reason I'm mentioning it is, to me, it's not super important because I know who I am. But if anyone wants me to give them a reading in person, and I go to their house or meet me after seeing my pictures or any advertisements, some people, it's not quite their thing. So, in order to avoid any future discomfort for both parties, I mention that. So, if it's not your thing, that's fine. But this way you know. Now, my background is I'm an occultist. I have studied many different kinds of spirituality for over 30 years. You would say since I was a small child, since I started reading books about mythology and the heroes of old and the gods and the goddesses of ancient Greek mythology. I would read about the Celtic heroes like Cuchulainn, and the Egyptian gods and deities, and of the Norse, Odin and Loki and Freya and all their friends. And I thought it's about time that I take my knowledge and I do something with it to benefit others. And also, I mean, it's not purely altruistic because I do hope to make a profit from it, but I'm honest about it because I believe if you do something and you just give it to people, to be frank, most people don't truly appreciate it. That's why, like, even in ancient times, people would make some sacrifices and say, or even if there was a wise woman or a medicine man, they would bring them something or some of their crops so that the medicine man could survive and continue with their work and their shamanistic studies. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, I wanted to share with you some of my cards. I have many decks, but today I wanted to share with you the first deck that I ever got, which I got when I was about 20 years old. I finally was out of the house and I could live however I chose to. This isn't my original deck because that was lost in time and through many movings, although it's sad, so I repurchased it. It's the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. Let me turn my lighting a little bit away. It's too bright right now, I think, to show you this. It's got lovely pictures, and it's quite popular with many occultists and many tarot readers who use it for professional readings as well as for their own personal readings. Here's the back of the cards. And to, oh, I'm going to have to figure out a way to do my lighting a little better. So I have a little bit of credibility with you, my dear watchers and listeners. I'm going to draw a card from my Crowley Thoth deck, named for the Egyptian deity of wisdom. He's the one with the ibis head. I'm going to draw a card from out of my deck. I have a way of shuffling my cards my own way. I don't do it like a poker player because I'm not playing poker. The first card that I just felt compelled to draw out of here. Let's see if we can get that focused a little better so you can see it. Is the Two of Swords. And when I'm actually doing my reading, once I figure out how to do my lighting a little bit better, I'm going to have my altar clock set out and just to focus so you guys can see it a little better. Right now, I'll just talk to you about it. Anyway, the Two of Swords, which is, it shows a pair of crossed swords here. Of course, the swords has to do with the element of air. And the element of air is associated with the mind and mental things, planning, strategy, and things like this. Now, the interesting thing is there's a lotus here. On some of the other cards, lotus is associated with the cups, and they're piercing that. So, if you look there, and also in his backgrounds, he has a lot of what they would call pictures made from sacred geometry. But the fact that the swords are crossed and they're piercing that may signify that sometimes, in order to succeed, you may have to use your logic ahead of your emotions, at least if you get this card for the particular situation you're reading for. So as today's daily meditation, I would say sometimes and many times emotions do rule the day, but sometimes it's good to take a step back and analyze things. Analyze the things you're feeling. Analyze why you're worried. And really, really think about what it all means from a logical standpoint. And getting this card in a reading would tell me that very thing. Oh, well, it could tell me different things depending on what cards are next to it. So sometimes logic over emotions could bring a bit of peace and help settle or ground those emotions, at least in my belief. And I want to thank you for being a good listener, and if you listen this far, for being tolerant and patient. And I would like to say blessings to all of you out there, and to the truly bad, curses upon you as well, because I take a balanced approach to spirituality. It's not all love and light and rainbows, even though I like rainbows quite a bit. But there's also sometimes you have to have a little bit of darkness, because sometimes you can't really appreciate or see the light that you need. And a lot of people call that shadow work. But we don't do all shadow work here. There's sun, and there's positive and powerful and happy images as well. So enjoy, enjoy the balance, and have a very lovely day.